What's going on? So today we've got a bunch of little things that we're going to be taking care of inside of the car to try to prepare it for the cage actually going to be installed. So installing the cage feet as well as like the main hoop and everything like that. Let's actually see what all we have to do today in order to prepare it for that. Alright, so here's the car as it currently sits. The last thing we did on it was we removed the seat mounts. So that is one of the things that I do need to go through. Go over, hit all these with a flap disc and smoothen out all this metal and clean up all the jagged pieces, as well as fill in the holes that I missed, that I went right through the floor with. That's why you take your time on spot welds. Don't be like me. So we're going to be doing that. And then as you can see, there's still a bunch of residue and tar from the sound deadening that we need to remove. So we're going to be getting rid of that, cleaning all these surfaces really well. And on the areas where the seat mounts were, we're going to be seam welding, hitting there, at least with one bead in the center of both sides of the car. So let's get started on hitting these with a flap disc and then filling in these holes. Got all the spot welds ground down right now, so we can see the ones that I actually need to fill in. So these I'm just going to build up with MIG, go a little bit cooler than a normal setting. That way I can build up material and then just grind it back down later so it can be flush. Same with all of them. Some of them were pretty bad. They kind of tore. Definitely helps to go slow and take your time. I'm not going to be filling in the drain holes yet. I'm just going to wait and then actually cut out little coupons for it and then fill in the areas later on. But I'm going to break out the welder and start doing these. Alright, all the holes are filled on this side. You didn't see some of them because I didn't realize that the camera wasn't recording for some of it. I was just using my copper spoon, putting it behind on the smaller holes and then filling in the welds slowly. For that one, whatever. It doesn't look the greatest, but whatever, it's a floor. It's going to get painted and there's going to be a mount that goes over it anyway, so not a big deal as long as it's not a big hole. Still going to fill those in later, but I'm going to move on to the other side and take care of those holes. So I've got quite a few holes to fill on this side. I really got impatient and it was really dumb, and it just makes a lot more work for myself on the back half, so definitely don't do that. But anyway, to fill these in, because they're small holes, they're only about a little bit more than, probably like a 3/8 of an inch in diameter. They're not too big. I'm just using a copper spoon to back them and then slowly just tacking it in place and then grinding them down. So it doesn't take long to tack these small holes. You definitely can't do that with something like this big. You just got to do like what I did before, where I cut the piece out and then just tacked it in place. Got all the holes filled in on this side. Now I just need to grind them down. Not very pretty. I left some of them open. I'm planning on plating this side anyway when I do the seat mounts, so I'm not going to bother filling those in yet. I'm just going to grind these down, clean up these areas over here, and then do one more stitch across on both of the floor pans as well as the driver's side, and then we'll be done welding for right now. Okay, I just finished up the last two stitch wells on both sides, so now I'm going to pull everything out of here and vacuum it and then start stripping all this stupid tar from the sound deadening. So big difference between the driver's side and passenger side right now. I've been working on that one for about an hour. I kind of came up with a way to do it. This tar is like really hard to get off. So I'm just using, as you can see, like I tried some tar off stuff and even letting it soak. It really doesn't get rid of the big chunks of the sound deadening that's still on there. So take care of them. I'm just heating them up a little bit as I go with the blowtorch, and then scraping them up. I was using a plastic scraper, but obviously plastic doesn't really work well, so I switched over to the metal one. And if you do that, you just kind of got to be careful that you don't scrape up all your paint with it. So you don't really have to get it that hot, just enough to like make it malleable like that, and then it scrapes right up. It's just kind of a pain and it takes forever. And then once you scrape it off, you can use like acetone or like Goof Off makes like a alcohol-based cleaner, and that'll work really well to like remove what little bit of residue is left, and it dries very quickly. So that's all my plan is. Scrape it slowly section by section after heating it up. Well, my card was full like mid-sentence, but not that it really matters. Wasn't really saying much. So I'm just gonna knock this out off camera because it's gonna take forever. But yeah, just find a method if you're gonna do something like this that works and keep going. There might be something better. I've seen people that use like liquid nitrogen spray and they just freeze it off, but that stuff's pretty expensive, and I don't feel like going anywhere to buy it. So that method might work better to get rid of the little sections a lot easier because it'll just flake off, kind of like it did with the dry ice. But I don't feel like it, like I said, but if you're interested in that, I'd look into it. I'm gonna keep working on this. You guys have a good one.